Okay, so this is not the video that I wanted to be making today. I know a lot of you right now are scared and despairing and confused and exhausted. That's okay, you're right to feel that way. I know pretty much all of us were shocked by the result.
Why would they be scared? Okay, why would they be scared? So Brian Tyler Cohen decided to go on some lunatic, unhinged rant, as far as I'm concerned, and coped really hard about why his side lost. And he's already starting with this victim mentality, this, not victim, more like a fear mongering. You're scared, you're confused. And I bet they would be confused because you guys kept lying to them. And now people like Brian Tyler Cohen or Dave Packman are wondering why they're losing followers. Well, look at you, you're still lying to them, telling them they're scared, acting like they should be scared. It's ridiculous. Let it go.
We're obviously going to spend the next few days and weeks and months, I'm sure, autopsying what happened, and there's going to be the usual finger pointing from people who are going to say that they knew better. But to be honest, I think that the Harris campaign did run the best campaign they could have possibly run, given the circumstances. I also think that, more broadly, there are a lot of massive structural disadvantages that Democrats are contending with right now that, in retrospect, made winning this election very difficult. First and foremost, something that I've been beating the drum about for years now, the right has a propaganda machine at its disposal that hums on for 24 hours a day on TV and radio and TikTok and Facebook and YouTube and Rumble and Discord servers everywhere that pump out right-wing propaganda on an endless loop. The top 20 podcasts in America include Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson, Theo Von, Dan Bongino, Candace Owens, Megyn Kelly, and Ben Shapiro. You know who we've got on the left on that list? The Daily and Pod Save America. All the while, Democrats continue, for some fucking reason unbeknownst to me, to pretend that mainstream media is some partner in democracy, that they're on our team.
But they are. First of all, so you hear the rant, right? He starts naming off everybody's name. This is a very terrible way to cope. If you're not that good, then you should wonder why you're not number one. That's on you. Obviously, these people are doing what they're supposed to do. You're talking about Rumble. I mean, Rumble, like, the right wing felt like they needed to make their own platform so that they could speak and get the news out. And people started finally going to those platforms and listening. That's the thing. But you got this person complaining and saying that they need to have more, I guess, of a platform, or he's mad that like people like Megyn Kelly, or Ben Shapiro or whatever, like that they have top 20, shows and stuff like that. He has 3.43 million subscribers. What are you complaining about? So how come you couldn't get your message out any better to all your subscribers? Who are all these subscribers? Why are you so mad? Why are you so mad?
I don't know how much clearer I can say this. They are not on our team. Corporate media exists to serve its shareholders. It is a business before it's anything else, certainly before it's some protector of democracy. And yet still, our side has decided that when there's a big interview, go to mainstream media. When there's news, give it to mainstream media. Let's keep validating the same outlets that continuously undermine us at every single turn. Sometimes I have to beg politicians for interviews for my channel for months and months and months and months and still don't even hear back.
Okay, so you're complaining for yourself. So that's what that is. Because to be honest, mainstream media right now is still coping so hard for Kamala Harris, and nobody is being honest with themselves. I mean, you might have like one or two people, but they're saying that racism and misogyny is the reason why she lost. And that helped you guys. Now, again, it's all lies, and people are tired of being lied to. So the views aren't probably going to be as many as they were before. People are realizing how much there are lies. Like racism and misogyny, really, we still doing this like every time. Like we're still doing. No, people did not know Kamala Harris. A lot of people didn't vote. I think like many people didn't vote like in the past. So I mean, again, I don't know what his problem is, but he even starts offline and says that she ran a campaign that was good. It was as best as it could be given the circumstances. No, it was not. By the way, guys, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell. Thank you to every eye that lands on this video. Thank you.
And yet, they'll fall over themselves to go talk to the New York Times, the same outlet that ran, 60 cover stories about Hillary's emails? That's who they need to confer more validation onto? That's who they need to reward with their time, with eyeballs? We desperately need a left-wing media ecosystem that rivals what they have on the right. And we desperately need our politicians and thought leaders to embrace that idea. The fact that they don't means that we will continue to lose people other than the same couple of million people who tune into mainstream media every day. People who, by the way, are already Democratic voters, already high information voters, and don't need any more persuading. That is not where the persuadable people are.
But the thing is, not everybody goes to Rumble. I can tell you that there are people who voted for Trump who said that, who had already made up their mind that they were going to vote for Trump. I believe it was like at least, I think it was last year, one of my homies came to me. He wasn't watching Rumble. He said, I'm voting for Trump. I'm sorry, I made a mistake in 2020. I will not make the same mistake again this year. That's what he said to me, right? And because he saw what was going on, like he's still not connecting it. He thinks that, oh, because they didn't come on his show, that's why she lost. No. You're being told, people do not like being lied to when they can feel the thing happening to them. The economy is good. At one point, Whoopi told people, shut up about the economy. Like, you guys are just complaining. It's good. And butter is $7, right? So people are like, I don't know what numbers you guys are looking at. So, and then they'll scream out, they'll talk about these numbers, these Wall Street numbers and everything else. And they'll be like, that's why the economy is good. You know how that makes a person feel who's struggling to get groceries? It makes them feel like, well, I guess Wall Street matters more than me because I'm not feeling this good economy. Something is not adding up.
Find people where they are. And until we do, we will keep losing to the right. The other barrier that we face in this election is that we are more broadly in a period of global high inflation that came about after COVID. And while some of us, are privileged enough to be able to say that our top issues in this election are democracy and climate change, things like that, for most people in this country, people who, by the way, can't afford a $400 emergency, the cost of stuff going up in the grocery store was their top priority. And when you're mad, you blame the people in charge.
No, nobody's stupid, okay? Yes, I get it. Now, see, people are like, oh, Trump pulled out money, for COVID and everything, which, by the way, let me tell you something, okay? The word socialism, they demonize it so much that you have a lot of people on the right who won't say it. I say it. If my taxes are being taken out, then I expect them to go back to the American people, especially in a time of crisis. So what Trump did during COVID, I'm sorry, I'm not one of those like, he shouldn't have did that. We give out so much money to other countries. I'm sorry, he was giving money to Americans, finally, right? Okay. They say that caused the inflation, but it would have gotten itself back in check because you would have had people go back to work, start producing again, getting things flowing, and it would have leveled out in some fashion. Joe Biden came in, everybody forgets, he came in, he extended the period of like getting the free money and everything. He extended it, he added more. He was giving out he sloshed up the economy, he added more money, a lot more. And look, it is what it is, right? But now, after a while, you felt the effects of both things happening. That part was not supposed to happen. And so they're still gaslighting and undermining, making people feel stupid and trying to make it seem like you don't understand how the economy works. Oh, you'll just blame the people in charge. And then when he says we were in a global inflation and that's what happened. No, it didn't have to happen like that here in America. And people aren't worried about global inflation. That's the other thing. The left kept saying, well, we have the lowest inflation around the world. A person who needs to get groceries doesn't care. They're not trying to hear that. They're like, yeah, something's still not adding up here for me.
The people in charge right now are the Democrats. For a lot of people out there, it's as simple as that. And that has happened across the world. In France, Marine Le Pen basically neutered Macron. It happened to Sunak in the UK. Modi lost his majority in India, South Africa, Senegal. This was a miserable environment for incumbents, not just here in the US, but across the entire planet. And I know there's a lot of talk about, was it the right move to put Kamala in? Could Joe Biden have won? Should there have been a primary instead when he dropped out? Should Biden have just announced that he wouldn't run again immediately after winning? And we can Monday morning quarterback this thing until we're blue in the face. But the reality is that I don't know if the best candidate on the face of the earth could have won in this political environment.
But you plan on autopsying this for the next few months, right? Because you need the content. That's what it is. You're still lying to your audience, right? But let's keep it real, Brian. Come on. Yeah, y'all are going to autopsy every minute of it for the next couple months. And then when Trump is inaugurated, y'all will start paying attention to everything he does, the ketchup that he puts on his steak and everything else, right? Because this is what you do. Look, the right isn't that much, I don't want to say it's not that much better, but they do make excuses for their own side. I guess everybody does it, but the left does it way worse. Literally, people are struggling, and they're being told the economy is fine. And now he's telling you about all these other people in the globe. You still don't get it. Nobody cares about what's going on. Definitely India, right? Definitely not India, especially when you know there's a bunch of Indians being flooded into America. Nobody cares. I don't understand why you guys can't understand nationalism, right? But they demonize that thought. And so now you're telling people about a bunch of stuff they don't care about. You played yourself. Dems played themselves. Now you will look silly. Oh, and by the way, Kamala could have definitely ran her campaign a lot better. She could have came up with her own policies. She could have explained it like, listen, I looked at things and everything. We tried it this way, but I feel like if we add a little bit more of this, it'll be better. We remove a little bit more of that, it'll be better. Joe Biden, I learned a lot from him. A couple things I would do differently, but in the end, he's the one who made the final decisions, and I support all the decisions he made. But this is how I'm different, by looking at what we did, and now I want to excel it and to make it better. And then you go around and you talk about that instead of constantly talking about fascism, abortion, joy campaigns. We're going to make America Detroit again? Come on. All right, so it was doomed from the beginning. It is what it is. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.